What's up, people? Class in the session. This is Professor Ganymede. In this video, we have a game here by Frogger, Grandmaster Lucio player. He uploaded this SoloQ comp game to me for analysis. This is again with the new Lucio 2.0. So I'm going to analyze this game, see what he does right, so we can all learn from his gameplay. This is how he plays a very defensive playstyle, very bodyguard-like playstyle. And again, this is the type of playstyle I prefer for Lucio. This is the type of playstyle I want to teach. A lot of high-level Lucios played this playstyle. So let's take a look. Let's learn. Let's break it down. As usual, I have muted the sound for you guys. I like to listen to the sound, but it can be very distracting. So let's go. Thank you, Frogger, for uploading a close game. I'm glad you uploaded a close game. Alright, so he just harassing, playing back with his team, doing out the damage. Got those shots on that target, good. So he doesn't just shoot in the general direction. He's actually aiming at someone. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to hit those shots there. Now, this was interesting. So immediately he sees that they're rushing in. He amps up the heals as soon as the Winston came in. And then he moved to speed and followed the Winston so he can actually help his team collapse on that Winston. Because we all know, we should know, that the Winston shield has a 13-second cooldown. Then once he jumps, that jump is on the 6-second cooldown. So that is actually the most vulnerable position Winston will be in. So you can, if you collapse on him, especially if you break the shield very fast, you can actually put out a lot of damage on Winston and probably kill him. And they did in this game, and so that was really good. Nice. I like to see that he had his knockback and he listened for the Roadhog hook, saw the Roadhog had hit someone, and then did a knockback on him to throw off his aim, saving that person. That's a really good use of the knockback. Now he tries to mess with the Roadhog here, but Roadhog is very dangerous. He got to about half health trying from that range. And Roadhog can one-shot you from that range, so it's definitely something to be cautious about. But he was definitely using those corners, weaving in and out of line of sight to ensure he didn't make himself a target too often, so Roadhog only got one shot on him before he was able to successfully pull back. And again, he was able to get those harassing headshots on that person way far back, because again, when he's shooting that kind of fire, he's aiming at a specific person, not just in a general direction. Now his Winston has the Nano boost. He actually switches the speed to speed up his Winston, and then gets the knockback on the Ana, just to stop her from healing, and then is able to turn back and again knock back the Roadhog. So he's bouncing from place to place. He isn't going super ham on any particular person. He's just bouncing between teammates, between enemies to try to get the knockback on them. And then, of course, he has good aim. He's able to help pick up the kill on that Lucio there. Of course, you'll notice consistently every high-level Lucio player that I've seen has good aim. You will not see a Lucio player high level that has bad aim. There we go. He's crouching there. He's going to move over to this location here. It gives him some good knockback opportunities. He does attempt a knockback, he does dodge that using his wall ride, tries to knock him off the map, barely does not get it. Now, this is actually very interesting, and I do want to tone down this and analyze it. So they come up here, and then his Genji starts the Dragon Blade right there. And right here, he does not activate the sound barrier. They have a Roadhog, so he knows at least the Roadhog is on cooldown. But this Genji is still, if the right shot lands, within one-shot range, and he does wait out the sound barrier. And then, in reaction to that Genji Dragon Blade, Lucio drops the beat, enemy Lucio drops the beat, and then Roadhog activates ultimate to push back the Genji. Now that he sees his Genji is low, that's when he drops the sound barrier. So this is actually a very curious ultimate. This is not a bad ultimate at all. But I'm very curious as to why he didn't drop the sound barrier immediately and while he waited till the Genji got this low. It seems risky. It did work out. So just very curious. Good play either way. Good play either way. So he's just kind of playing around the corner and making sure he doesn't get hooked by the Roadhog. He's going to back out because he doesn't want to run into a bunch of them and reinforce another of his teammates. We're going to move over there to reinforce the D.Va. Now he's going back here. Just kind of playing around. Not sure exactly what he's trying to accomplish. Okay, so here, notice that he uses the knockback on these people, right? And he tries to knock them into the wall. All right, so we see the knockback happens here. That, because he just used that knockback, Roadhog gets the hook on Ana, and he doesn't have the knockback in order to knock Ana away. And so Roadhog is able to pick up that kill on Ana. So that is one little small thing. You know, Frogger, he's a great player. I mean, in this game, he's a Smurf, so he's like 30 or 50, really close to Grandmaster. But he did, you know, ask for us to look out for things he can improve upon. So just one thing for everyone to know, when you're near Roadhog, or when you see a Roadhog, save your knockback for if he tries to hook a person. Because if he tries to hook a person and he lands that hook, your knockback can save that person's life. So try to hold on to it instead of knocking him back as soon as you see him. There we go. Now he's moving in on the Ana, moving in with the speed on his Winston to help take out that very key Ana target. So that's actually really good to see him switching to pocketing his Winston to help out take out that back line. That's a very good use of his time, especially on characters like Winston, characters like Reaper, who really benefit from having that extra speed. And also, you know that during the team fight, they're going to go after important targets. He's just speeding his Ana to the fight here. Yeah, but you notice that those characters in particular are going to go after very important targets. So helping them take down those targets to not only, that could potentially win you the team fight by taking down important targets like that, but also, not only could it help you win the team by taking out that target, but then it can allow your Winston, your Reaper, and other speed, slow characters who will be benefited by the speed to get back to combat and start doing other things. So good speed there. Now his Diva actually moves down here and charges down here and gets hooked. I'm not sure. I think the Diva threw this point here. There's really nothing he could have done about that. So he speeds in to reinforce. His Winston goes in. He gets the speed buff. They put the Ana nano boost on the Winston. He got the speed buffs on the Winston, which is a really good use of his time. Now he's going to try to go get the damage on the Ana, but this is very curious. This is actually really good, I think, because let's watch this again. So this is really good. This is very interesting. So he goes after the Ana, but then the enemy picks up a bunch of kills, and he pulls back here, and he has the discipline to pull back, leave that enemy Ana at half health, and then go and try to save his Ana. Well, one thing I can speculate. So what he did see is that there are 3 of his allies which were killed, which means going really ham on the Ana is probably too dangerous because her team could ask for help, and there's a lot of her team to reinforce. So when there's so many of your allies dead and so many of the enemy's team alive, going in on the backline support could be really much more dangerous than normal because there's less people providing distraction for you to try to get a kill. Even though that Ana was at half health, it's probably too dangerous. Alright, so now he's going to get the app on the Ana, but she dies anyway. It's just to be expected. He switches the speed halfway through it, and he goes dealing with the Tracer, and he does push the Tracer back. He tries to get to the point, but he couldn't. He did everything he could do there. That was a really good team fight. Otherwise, besides that little knockback, but after that, that was a really good team fight. So he's just playing, going down the suppressing fire. Again, he's really hitting those shots. He's hitting the headshots with those. Like he is not messing around here. All right, he was gonna try to go up with the speed buff to peel for his person that got hooked. That is the Diva, but that person was dead. So he's calling for the pullback and having his team pull back so they can do a group push. This is really good, pulling back. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Now he's gonna taxi for his Diva, and then they're gonna go in. There we go. Now his team's going to dive as a unit, as a team, and they have the awareness to pull back. There we go. Now as soon as the Genji goes out the Dragon Blade, he gets the Nano Boost. Now he ults immediately. So he does get the sound barrier out. It's a good sound barrier. Then he goes in. What does he start doing? He's kind of looking around. He gets the speed buff on his Genji, and then he's playing fire. And then he's getting damages on Roadhog, and then he's knocked Roadhog back, and then switch targets. And got the damage on Lucio, and again, play a fire, but Man, there's always playing with fire when doing that, but it's a risk, real risk, especially when you have such a good stagger on the enemy. So to get started, and then Roadhog has to focus multiple targets, getting that, securing that kill on the enemy Roadhog. All right, getting the knockback. Now he's pulling the same back and just throwing down the damages. There we go. All right, so that was, he saw that someone got hooked and he tried to move in to knock them back. He wasn't fast enough to stop the shot after the hook, but at least he was trying to do the right thing. He had to knock back off go now. That was good. Now, he sees this Genji has ultimate and his ulting. This is interesting. That was really good. Okay. That was really good. So, even though like his team loses the fight here, that's where we wanted to show how good his reaction to this was. So, here's the Genji. He switches to speed immediately. That's step one. Switch to speed immediately. He uses these walls here to get a boost of speed. Gets out in front of the Genji, turns around, knocks him back. Genji ends up missing that next swing. Amazing play. This is a great play. This is how you deal with Genji. Like, use your speed boost, use your wall running ability to get that burst of speed off the wall, knock him back. So now Genji's just kind of wasting time swinging here, and then Winston comes in. Now Genji uses the dash. Okay, this is also, and then Genji ends up dying. One thing about Genji is once Genji uses his dash and his deflect, both are on 8-second cooldowns, he is also, like Winston, at his most vulnerable. So go in on him. He can barely defend himself besides throwing shurikens at you. Go in on him. And he has very little ways in terms of escape except for his little wall riding ability, which, you know, Winston can pick up on that. Maybe even with proper wall riding ability, even a Lucio can chase him down. So, yeah, that was all really, really good. All right, get the knockout on Tracer. Playing a little bit defensively here. Switch to speed during that post bomb that the Tracer dropped down. Now he's just going to stall the point here, and this is just standard stuff. His team is dead. The fight needs to be... so he's just stalling for as long as possible because... And seeing whether or not he can allow his team to reinforce. And that was not a bad death. His team was dead. Basically, the fight was lost. The team was going to push anyway. The only chance they had of holding this was see if he can stall. He was most likely just going to die, though. So that was perfectly fine. Now he gets to regroup with his team, and they get to prep for another push. Perfectly good death. That's one of those good deaths there. Very rare, but good death. As long as you die sometime close to your team or make sure you aren't staggering too badly. And he wasn't. It would take a while before his team was able to regroup anyway. All right. Look at that damage. Now, one thing I do want to comment on, I do want to ask both Frogger, if you watch this game, and also my chat, when you have ultimate, should you be shooting down at the enemy? Because if your damage doesn't lead to a kill, you're just giving the enemy support's ultimate charge. Is there a benefit to just generally shooting downwards? Is it like, are you trying to pick up maybe a lucky kill? Like maybe get them low? Is that worth the risk of charging the enemy support's ultimates? So I'm not sure. I have no idea. I was just thinking about it. Like, if I have ultimate, should I be shooting downwind if I don't think it's going to pick up a kill? So, if Frogger or, you know, everyone else, if you guys, give me your thoughts about that. This was very interesting. So, his team is pushing in, so he drops the speed buff. Very interesting out there. So, I will say to death that the best, you know, most reliable use of Lucio's sound barrier generally is to use it in response to an ult, either to counter an enemy team's ultimate or to combo it with your ally ultimate, like a Genji Dragon Blade, like he's done in this game. But in these cases, when there's just a hard engage and your team speeds boosts to the point, then he, and even I will, and a lot of Lucio players will just do an ult to win the engagement. Like once... The thing about an early ult like this is, you know, an enemy ultimate can counter it and still wipe your team. So it usually is good if you know that the enemy team doesn't have a big ultimate that'll wipe your team. But also, there's also a counterplay that on the enemy side that they can pull. If you rush in and use your ultimate to initiate, they can pull back and waste your ultimate charge. So that's why you have to be sure that their fight is engaged and that the enemy team is committed to that fight. Because then your team is going to get the most out of that 500 health shield. Alright, so now he's just pulling back, playing the corner, just aiming at people, making sure he's safe here, amping the heals. Alright, so he's back here with his team, play position next to wall so he can bounce off him easy, reposition easy, really good here, but there's the Zarya Tracer Pulse Bomb combo. Classic. I'm not sure, like let's say he saved his sound barrier in that engage. He potentially could have used sound barrier here to block the pulse bomb. I'm not sure what would have been better. Should he have saved the sound barrier for the ultimate counter to counter that pulse bomb combo? Or should he have used it to hard engage? Frogger, answer that question if you can. Everyone else, give your thoughts on it. So, that's a good question. Like Lucio's sound barrier is very situational. That's why it's always good to ask these questions. Very situational. Alright, moving with speed buff, moving his team in, getting the speed. He's trying to see if he can go reinforce the Winston, but couldn't get to him in time. Now he's just kind of stalling over here. His Genji, he's just kind of switching between his crossfade to be more evasive. Sometimes get some speed on this Genji. And now they're just going to clean up here. He's basically just jumped on the point, knocked him back, stalled for a little bit. Good stuff there. Good stuff. If Lucio's good at one thing, it's stalling. It's surviving in dangerous situations. Well, that's within the match. So, that was a pretty close game. Pretty good defense here by Frogger. I posed a lot of questions for you guys, so hopefully you guys respond to those. And this was, again, a really helpful video. And this is the playstyle I prefer and how of the new Lucio 2.0. So, thanks you guys for watching. This has been Professor Ganymede. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Class dismissed.